It's a totally different day from when I actually filmed the video that you're about to see, but I did want to mention, because I forgot to mention,
silly me,
that it is FRAGBUY's 10th anniversary sale. It's happening now. There's a lot of really exciting details that I'm not going to bore you with spouting on camera. I basically would just be reading it. So it's all going to be down in the description for you to read, because I know you love to read, and especially when it involves you getting discounts on fragrances that you love and getting rewards and all this really fun, exciting stuff to celebrate the 10th freaking anniversary of, as I say all the time, probably my favorite discount fragrance site to purchase from. Everything's going to be down in the description. I'm actually literally editing the video and I'm going to tag this on at the beginning. So back to the real video. As you can see, it is a gloomy fall day. Honestly, I'm weird and I love days like this. I like the sun too, but I don't know, just the mood. It's so good, it's so introspective. I love it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk about a fragrance. Well, really two fragrances. My scent of the day. I'm getting ready to head out to a cafe to do some editing, and it's actually been some time since I've worn this, but for this video, I want to wear this just for old time's sake. DIOR HOMME PARFUM. If you're in North America, you know how hard this fragrance is to get. And honestly, I don't know if it's worth the prices you'll probably find it for if you are actively looking for it. I haven't checked the prices lately, so I couldn't tell you what they are, but maybe I'll put something on the screen and you just know I can tell you. It's an amazing fragrance, but it's not worth overpaying for. Unless you have friends in Europe or you are traveling to Europe and you can find it there for not a crazy premium, I say sure, but if not that, maybe not worth it. Anyway, I'm gonna put it on and then I'm gonna tell you about the subject of today's video, because it is this, but kinda not really. Gonna put on DIOR HOMME PARFUM. If you have not yet smelled this, not for everyone. This is essentially what you could call, in a very crude sense, a niche fragrance inside of a designer bottle. In fact, that could be said of the entire original DIOR HOMME line, but this is what many people consider the pinnacle of the line. Some people prefer the Intense. Maybe fewer people prefer the original EDT, which I love. I don't actually have the Intense, believe it or not. And some people claim this as an absolute masterpiece. I see where they're coming from. Powdery, sweet, iris, almost like lipstick in a way, but in this case it's much darker with a very luxurious but very noticeable leather note, a little bit of rose in there. There's this opulent heart to it. It is a confident scent profile, but it's one that is edgy in kind of a softer way. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I wouldn't normally wear this fragrance on a day like this. I'd like to save it for more formal occasions, especially in the evening time. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna wear it. And I'm not gonna put on much because it's quite powerful. Gonna do one more. I have DIOR HOMME PARFUM on my skin. I just did 3 sprays. It's all around me right now. It smells so luxurious. However, this video is about a different fragrance, truly. Let me go grab it. Now, there has been some talks of this fragrance. I think it's possibly been out of stock, but it is back. I think that's the story. If not, then forgive me. Either way, I think it is available at FRAGBUY. They did send this to me. They really wanted me to try it. I will be honest, I was a little skeptical and I wasn't eager to accept it, but after some back and forth, I decided, you know what? I can probably make a hopefully engaging and informative video with this fragrance as the subject. This is from FRAGBUY's FOMO line. They call this Gary's Den, Le Parfum. I'm not gonna spray this yet. I wanna spend a few hours getting reacquainted with DIOR HOMME PARFUM so I can take account of my experience and remind myself of what it's like to wear and enjoy this fragrance. Now, this fragrance is supposed to be modeled after DIOR HOMME PARFUM. How close is it? We will see. I will definitely be letting you know. So I'm gonna wear this and enjoy this. I'm gonna come back, and then after I get my thoughts back about this one, after wearing it, I will spray these side by side. I'll give you a little bit of a first impressions. Maybe I'll let it dry down a bit. After 15-20 minutes, I'll come back and I'll tell you what I think about this fragrance and how it compares to this, and if it serves as a decent alternative. So more to come. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, it's been several hours and we are back for an update. Why am I still using this camera? That's better. All right, it's time for the moment of truth. I have been wearing DIOR HOMME PARFUM all day. I think I filmed that original video at least 7 or 8 hours ago, and I've been smelling it all day long. It's definitely gotten more leathery, still a little bit sweet, maybe less powdery, but still has this very unique musky texture to it. I'll be honest with you, I don't think this was the occasion I prefer to wear this fragrance. I can't say I was loving it all day long, and that's because I don't tend to wear it on days when I need it for the entire day. This is an evening fragrance. It's something that I will need for maybe 4 to 5 hours, and then I come home, maybe I'll take a shower. I don't really care to smell it, honestly, for like 10 or more hours or anything like that. So it's not really a knock to the fragrance. It's just my functionality with it. But I did enjoy it, but we need to put them side by side. I'm going to put Gary's Den on this hand, and I'm going to put DIOR Homme Parfum, a fresh spray, on this hand, and I'll give you my first impression of this, and we'll break down the differences and ultimately tell you if this, I believe, sub $40 fragrance is worth it as an alternative to this powerhouse. First, let's give Gary's Den a spray. I do like the presentation. Quality is good here. This is a heavy metal cap, which is awesome. Good heavy metal bottle. You can see they put some quality into this. I always appreciate that. Here's our first spray. Okay, without even pulling it up to my nose, I'm definitely getting DIOR Homme Parfum vibes. It feels like I just sprayed a fresh spray of this, at least in the air. I'm getting the same vibe. I think I do get a little bit more alcohol than I would out of this. Let's get it up close. They did good here. It has some of the same nuance from what I can detect. It's not overly powerful. It is present, it's strong, but it's not slapping me in the face with this haphazard array of ingredients that aren't well blended or thoughtfully layered. Let's put it side by side with the original. Let's see how they did with the quality. I'm just getting a lot of DIOR Homme Parfum in the air right now. Just a big conglomeration. Yeah, I'm getting this kind of dry, dusty, almost ambrette feel. That reminds me, it's the texture of DIOR Homme Parfum. A little powdery. There is nuance here, but I'm getting more nuance out of the original. I'm getting more of an interplay between ingredients. This is already becoming perhaps a little bit kind of two-dimensional in a way. I'm not going to say this for certainty, but what my nose is telling me is we have a different quality of iris or orris root in here. It might not even be orris, because orris is very expensive. Like real orris root or orris butter, not cheap. So carrot seed is often a substitute. Sometimes it can be a supplement to orris. If they're going to use a little bit of it, then they might boost it with carrot seed to increase the presence of it without having to dump more expensive ingredient in it. So maybe they did that, but I think I'm getting primarily carrot seed. I could be wrong, but I get a particularly dry, starchy feeling out of carrot seed. A little bit less powdery than orris or iris can be. I'm not getting it quite as starchy here. It's more powdery. So obviously, as you can see, this is a very, very deep dissection, which I don't really think is necessary. I don't really like to compare fragrances like this, compare nuances and things like that, because ultimately when you're wearing either one of these, it doesn't really matter. Can I say that in the air, Gary's Den comes across as smelling like DIOR Homme Parfum? Yes, I can say that without hesitation. Is it exactly the same? No, and there's no way it could be. That just does not exist. You can't do it unless you have the perfumer actually recreate the fragrance with the exact same ingredients that they were sourced from, with the exact same proportions down to the fraction of a gram. Even then, maybe it doesn't come out exactly the same, but I think it's more possible that way. So no, this is not completely one-to-one, but if I had to put a percentage on how close Gary's Den is to DIOR Homme Parfum, at least here within the first almost 5 minutes I've been smelling them side by side, I would say maybe 93%. That's kind of arbitrary, but that's the number that popped into my head. As they're drying, DIOR Homme Parfum is a little bit more opulent. There's more core and heart here. This is a little bit flatter, but what can you really ask for at this price point? Those of you who have been scouring the globe for DIOR Homme Parfum, dare I say, maybe your search is over? This will probably suffice, especially if you've never smelled this. Now, if you have been spoiled enough to smell this, I think you'll still appreciate it, but I think you'll be able to tell, kind of like I can. It's close. It's good, and I think it's a suitable substitute, but it is not superior. This is still superior. Quality is still higher here. Depth is still deeper here. I was just checking out some of the ratings on Fragrantica, and people are claiming that this thing does perform well. So Those of you who care about longevity and all that, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about this. If you can't get this, I think this will do just fine. They did quite good with it, actually better than I was expecting. Those of you who have DIOR HOMME PARFUM and maybe you are trying to baby your bottle, maybe you're a little bit afraid to get through it and run out, this could be a good backup if that's something you do. I'm not really a backup bottle guy, but if you're into that, check it out. I'm gonna have a link to this fragrance down below. I don't have any links for this, so sorry. But if you wanna check this out, it will be down in the description. And if you've already tried it, let everyone know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Do you think it comes close? Do you think it's a suitable substitute? Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.